Now here's an answer to an age-old question. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Groundhogs are also called woodchucks. They are a large rodent, and they are one of the 14 species of marmot. They are the largest member in the squirrel family. From head to rump, groundhogs are 17.75 to 24 inches long. They weigh about 13 pounds, which is about double the weight of a newborn baby human. When groundhogs stand on their hind legs, they look like a mini bear. They also have very sharp claws in which they use to dig impressive burrows during the warm months. So during the winter, when they hibernate, they can go and sleep there. Groundhogs can only be found in North America from Canada down to the southern United States. They like woodland areas that bump up against more open areas. For example, a giant forest with a little field in the middle. The burrows that they dig with their big claws can be 6 feet deep and 20 feet wide. These homes also have dozens of entrances. That's why you might see tons of holes in one small area where one groundhog lives. They keep their burrows tidy and clean by always changing up how everything looks, and they have their own rooms for everything. Room for going to the bathroom, for storing food, for sleeping, one for everything. Groundhogs are solitary animals, meaning they like to live alone. They spend their summers and falls stuffing themselves with all sorts of food, like veggies, fruits, berries, plants, and everything that they can get. And then they also love to bask out in the sun. That's why you're most likely to see them sitting out on top of a rock, soaking up the sun. They eat a pound of food per sitting. During the winter, where they hibernate, they do wake up and go around and get food, but they don't go anywhere past 50 to 130 feet from their burrow. During the winter, they hibernate, meaning that they go to sleep for a long period of time during the winter. Right before they go to sleep, they plump up with lots of food and drink tons of water so that they don't have to get very much of it while the winter is happening. They also slow down their heart rate and their breathing rate so they can go longer without needing as much energy to sustain themselves. Their breathing and heart rate slows down so much, it's less than a quarter of what it normally is. In February, the males will come out of their den and then go look for a female's den. When he finds one, he heads on in, and is believed that the males do this to introduce themselves to possible mates. In the spring, that's when mating season begins, and then the females give birth within 2 to 6 weeks after the gestation period of around 32 days. The babies are blind and hairless, but they become quickly mature in just 3 months or so. For example, a human baby, takes about 2 years. Hogs mature in about 32 days. Females give birth from about 2 to 6 baby groundhogs after the 32-day gestation period. It only takes them about 2 to 3 months to mature, which is insane compared to a human, in which it takes about 2 to 3 years for one to mature. Once the groundhog becomes mature, they typically leave their mother's den and then go dig their own den, in which they sustain themselves. Hogs live about 6 to 8 years on average. These rodents are herbivorous, meaning that they eat vegetation. A groundhog's diet can include fruit, plants, tree bark, grass, and any sort of plant that they can get their hands on. Farmers don't particularly like groundhogs because they're known to damage and eat their crops. Many of these farmers would consider them pests. Now, their teeth is similar to a beaver, which is why some people call them the land beaver. The front of their tooth is covered in enamel, like our teeth, and then the back is covered in dentin. Enamel and dentin are two things that we can find in our own teeth. As these groundhogs chew bark and all sorts of hard things to chew, they have to grow their teeth constantly. Their teeth grow at the same rate that they chew. As they chew, the teeth sharpen themselves, which is a very good way to make it so they always can bite through that hard stuff, sharpening it again. Now the issue with sharpening their teeth is that it grinds down the enamel and dentin, meaning that at some point there's not going to be any tooth left. So what they do is that at the same rate that they chew and lose the enamel and dentin, it grows back. So they constantly grow their teeth. The scientific name for a groundhog is Marmota monax. Marmota monax is the Latin name for groundhogs, which is universally known in the scientific community. So even though if a different language calls a groundhog something different, the word Marmota monax, all scientists will know, no matter what language that they speak. Now you might be familiar with the word woodchuck. Woodchucks are actually the same thing as groundhogs, and it's not because they actually chuck wood. It comes from the Native American word woodchuck, which translates roughly to as digger or whistle pig. And since this video is for Groundhog's Day, let's have some facts about Punxsutawney Phil, which is the groundhog that reveals the weather on Groundhog's Day.
Ladies and gentlemen, the seer of seers, the great Oz of weather forecasting, Punxsutawney Phil. Gentlemen, let's find out what Phil has to say. Come round. This one? Is it this one? Okay. Okay. We think we have a prediction. Shingle shaker. Can you read the prognostication?
Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. Now, this second day of February, 2021, the 135th annual trek of Punxsutawney Groundhog Club. Punxsutawney Phil, the seer of seers, the prognosticator of all prognosticators, was awakened from his burrow at 7:25 a.m., but now see hope in morning's bright light. But now, when I turn to see, there's a perfect shadow cast of me. 6 more weeks of winter there will be.
Punxsutawney Phil, the groundhog, has been in charge of telling us how long the winter is going to be since 1987, all based on whether he sees his shadow or not in the morning of February 2nd. If he sees his shadow, it is said that we have 6 more weeks of summer. Now, if he doesn't see a shadow, it is said that spring will come early. Now, here's a really cool fact. There's not Punxsutawney Phils. There's only one Punxsutawney Phil. Only one. Now, it is said that Punxsutawney Phil stays so young always by the magical groundhog punch that he is fed in summer at the annual groundhog picnic, but only just a sip of this punch. That apparently extends his life for another 7 years, so even if he doesn't drink this punch for 7 years, and then he drinks it that year, on the 7th year, he should still be fine. Now, you might be wondering, how does Phil get this elixir? And his magical groundhog punch elixir is given to him by a group of people called the Inner Circle, which comes into play. Punxsutawney Phil's club, or the Inner Circle, doesn't just hold fast to Phil's medication and administer their beloved groundhog with the elixir, but he also takes care of all of his needs, from cleaning up his enclosure and grooming him and all of that. One group of people does that. When Phil is not predicting the weather at Gobbler's Knob, which is the town that he lives in, he actually lives in a small library. This library is only 2 miles away from where he predicts the weather. Now here is one thing that I didn't even know till I was researching for this video. Punxsutawney Phil has a wife named Phyllis with a PH. Now here's an answer to an age-old question. Nobody knows, but here's the answer to it. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Now, according to the Cornell University, a woodchuck could chuck 700 pounds of wood if a woodchuck could chuck wood, but they don't chuck wood. But yeah, 700 pounds is the maximum that they would be able to chuck if they did chuck wood. Now, a couple things I'd like to address. we have lots of videos in the process. It takes a quite long time to edit all these. That's why this video is coming out like a week after Groundhog's Day, because it takes a lot of time to edit and do all this. Now, you might not realize that this video is better quality than all the videos that I posted previously. And that's because I've been getting constant upgrades to all of my gear, and I have GoPros, I have all this stuff right now that'll help the quality of the videos. Now, I'm not going to be posting those videos until I get all the previous ones done. That's why I'm trying to get these ones done at a good pace, but also very good quality too. Here's some videos that should be coming out in the future. A couple in Lake Tahoe, one about the salmon migration of California, one in Gold Beach, Oregon, where we go agate hunting and tide pooling on New Year's. One all about winter, which was supposed to come out this Christmas, but I think I'm just gonna hold that one off for a while because, you know, it's a little bit after Christmas. One's about the American eagle, or the bald eagle, and also some videos about Cammy the chameleon. Here he is now. Alright, this is Cammy. He's my pet chameleon. You're probably gonna see some more videos about him soon. You can see him in the new intro, and he's a super cool little chameleon. But yeah, there's Cammy for you. I just realized I'm probably not gonna be able to put the green screen on because Cammy will be invisible. We also have videos about the river and so many more coming up. Now, the video's quality will improve after the first Tahoe video. Now, that's because after that Tahoe video, that's when I started getting all this new gear, like the rig I'm using to record right now, and this green screen, and all this other stuff. So after that video comes out, you'll start noticing that the quality is going to get really good soon. I also got a new laptop, which means I have better editing software, and it's easier to edit these videos. Let's get into some bloopers of me trying to pronounce Punxsutawney Phil. Punxsutawney Phil. Punxsutawney Phil. Punxsutawney Phil. Punxsutawney Phil facts. Finally. Oh. Some other news coming up is that I am actually buying a pet banana slug, which I'm going to be making a video on how to build a banana slug enclosure, and the best place to get a pet banana slug, the two best places. Also how to take care of this banana slug. And one more thing I forgot to address. We also have merch, so if you're interested, we got pins like that, we got shirts like this, we got all sorts of stuff. Now this hat, you can't get it on that shop, but you can buy this pin and put it on a hat. So that's what I did. We also got stickers, which I'll show you. EAA, one, that's Go with Topology, Ethan's Animal Adventures logo. And the merch and how to donate, including Patreon and PayPal, those are all in the channel banner. Which, if you look at the home screen of the channel, there's a giant arrow pointing to it. Anyways, I hope you liked this special Groundhog's Day video, and I'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. If you don't, someone will. Thanks, and see you later.